Hey guys, and welcome back to the Game Not Game podcast, the podcast where we talk about video games and not video games, and sometimes take like month-long breaks for no reason at all. How's it going? My name's Green. With me, as always, is my co-host Zen from his channel Zen and Cyrene. How you doing, Zen?
What's up, doing Mimic? Well. What did you just say?
Sorry, I was saying what's up to Chatter Blue Mimic here in the live Twitch chat every Wednesday at approximately, but not always exactly, 7:30 PST. We do a live stream of the podcast over here at twitch.tv/green9090. Yep. Sorry I cut off your intro. Hi, Zen.
Hi. Well, you're back from TwitchCon, and we're going to be talking about that later on, but we decided to open up with not a really new story, actually. This is a rather old one from back in February, but I just found it because God knows how I found this. So, now...
Strong start.
Yeah, we're stumbling back into the swing of things here. But yes, now you guys all know, because you typically live near or within a city, that cities often have these big statues. A lot of the countries and cities have mascots, you could say, or just symbols of who they are. Like Singapore, in this news article is talking about it. Singapore has a lion statue, a merlion statue. And the town of Kuching...
A merlion?
Oh yeah, a merlion. Oh yeah, I should explain this.
Hang on. Yeah, you just skipped right over that one.
I lived in Singapore for like 3 years, so that to me that's like
sure.
Completely...
Totally normal merlion statue.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the Singaporean merlion.
Yeah, so in Singapore, Singapore's national animal or symbol is a merlion. It has the top half of a lion and the bottom half of a fish. So I just linked it in chat. And so there are actually two iconic merlion fountain statues in Singapore, and it's a tourist attraction. It's just like the Little Mermaid in Copenhagen, except with a bloodthirsty lion as a head instead of a human girl.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that this newspaper article also talks about a town called Kuching, which is actually where I come from. That's my hometown, and Kuching actually literally means cat. So there are cat statues all over the place in Kuching, right? There's even a cat museum where there's a mummified cat from Egypt. So
nice.
Yeah. So you've got these two kind of major regional cities, and we've got another city in Indonesia, which is not that far away, called Pontianak. All right, and a Pontianak is a ghost. All right, it's a ghost a lot like you've watched The Ring, right? Or you've at least heard of The Ring. Like the movie?
Yeah. I haven't watched it, but I do. I pretty much know the plot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's this like very like ghastly looking woman with long black hair. You can't see her face until it's too late. She has a white dress and she's terrifying, right? That kind of a thing. Now, that's what a Pontianak is. Legend says that the founder of the town saw a Pontianak, and that's why he named the town Pontianak. Which I wouldn't do that, but hey, it's his town, right?
Well, I mean, if you're not really looking to make a tourist town, then that's fine, I guess. Mm-hmm. Or maybe he knew, maybe he predicted like the ghost hunter craze way later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He wanted to become the paranormal capital of the world.
They should do something like that, and I think they might be thinking about it because the head of West Kalimantan, which is the province they're in, Youth Tourism and Sports Agency. His name is Kartius, and I believe he only has one name, because some Indonesians only have one name. His name is Kartius. Just that's it, right?
Okay.
Has said that because of that, they should erect their own Pontianak statue. It should be 100 meters tall. So think about that for a moment. A statue.
How long is a meter again?
It's like 3 feet.
It's like over a foot, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 feet. So 300-foot tall statue of the ghost.
Enormous.
Yeah, it's gigantic. The ghost from Pontianak. I mean, from The Ring, basically. That's his idea to kind of really like attract people to Pontianak.
Well, there you go. It's like the anti-Statue of Liberty.
It really is. Like what? So the Statue of Liberty is something like I've never been there. It's like come your hardened masses will take you in.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it plays that exact sound clip, in fact, on a loop.
Really? I've never been there. So.
No, I was saying of your voice.
Oh yeah, okay.
So rest your muscles here.
yeah. Exactly.
No, it's but yeah, there's an inscription to that effect for sure on it. Yeah, she's just this big old lady with a giant torch, like kind of a beacon of light, and then on the other hand, this fucking horrifying, weird, faceless ghost creature.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an artist rendition of what it might look like on that link that I just put in Twitch chat.
Holy shit! That's so much creepier than I was imagining.
I know!
Holy fuck. Yeah, why not just put a big old statue of Cthulhu?
Exactly.
That's incredible.
I was laughing
it's
so hard. I just couldn't stop laughing because I grew up with these kinds of stories. You know, of you are in a lonely street, you turn around and then there's this like horrifying woman about to eat you. Like she tears into your guts and eats your guts or something like that. I think that's the legend. And now they're just going to make this into a 300-foot statue looking over the town every day.
Children love it.
Hello, Dunce Face.
Jesus. That's pretty wild. What's up, Dunce? How's it going?
Yeah. So I would want taxpayer money to go to this. Yeah, really. Just like over here in the United States, what do we have? Just erect like a 500-foot statue of a Sasquatch.
That would be so much less creepy, though.
It would
like
be.
Seriously, I gotta remember to put this link in the description.
Yeah.
But if not, it's at straightstimes.com. This is hard to convey in voice,
Yeah. Well, tell you what. Just remind me, Green, and then I'll whip out a thumbnail. I should be doing these things anyway, and showing the statue.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's hard. Pontianak, that's not a word that you should be spelling. It's going to be hard for you to spell unless you actually have grown up hearing about Pontianak killing people all your life.
Yeah, it's like a creepy Singapore statue, and you might be able to dig it up.
You know,
yeah, wow.
What the creepiest thing about Pontianak, if you ask me, is that it's kind of a sneaky ghost. And the way it works is that the further away it sounds from you, the nearer it actually is. Yeah. Yeah, so if you hear it far away, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, a group calling itself the Residents Movement Rejecting the Ghost Statue came to the city council building to protest the idea.
That flows way better in the native language. I assume that in parentheses Gemma Topon means that's what it's actually called, right?
I don't know.
That's much snappier.
I think that's, I'm sure it's short for something because as somebody who speaks Malay/Indonesian, the words tend to be very, very long. So
okay.
I'm sure they abbreviated it.
Yeah, it's got to be an abbreviation.
Yeah. So, 5 representatives came to the council building, and the council person, Erwan Suhanda, said that it's only an idea.
It's only an idea, guys. You don't have to get up in arms until we're building it.
When it's completed is one thing. What's a half-completed Pontianak going to look like? I don't know which will be creepier, honestly.
Yeah. God, I really hope it's like weird and hunched over like that. That's so good.
Yeah, no, it's not. Man. It's not going. If this thing gets built, which is most likely not going to get built, they'll probably make it stand up straight because it's easier to build, I think.
Yeah, God, it's so much cooler the way it is, though.
I know, in that picture, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good picture.
Well,
speaking of really creepy, weird things, on Halloween, somebody on Twitter who I follow retweeted 1 hour of imaginary celebrities, which is a YouTube video you can very easily find yourself by typing it into Google. This is a horrifying project that seems to be related to NVIDIA in some way. I tried to look into it, but it's a very dense paper on how they built their There's celebrity creating algorithm. But the interesting thing about this video is it isn't just a series of still images. One face morphs into another. So it's a bunch of similar faces that are all seeded by celebrity faces, so they all look eerily familiar, like, oh yeah, I think I've seen that guy in a movie or something. They're all completely made up by a computer, and it's just face morphing into face for an hour.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it
It's
now.
really unsettling. Yeah.
It's
It's remarkably consistent. However, sometimes it does create kind of horrifying, like, half faces and like little chunks missing from faces and stuff, because it is just a computer trying to generate this shit.
Yeah. Well, wait until they can actually animate this shit.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how much they all look not only like real people, but like they're celebrities. Like they've all got that celebrity look to them, where like you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that guy's I've probably seen that guy in a TV show or something. All fake. It's crazy. It's really off-putting.
Yeah. It's oh my god. I just watched one morph into another and his eyes just rolled into the back of his head.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, and you would think, like, you know, from the statement I've made, like, they're probably not very diverse and that's why they all look similar. That's not true at all. They've got, you know, there's obviously a lot of white people, but there's also like people of all different races. There's old people. There's like, yeah, there's a very diverse cast going on there, and it kind of, because it morphs from similar face to similar face, you'll get like stints of women, stints of men, stints of old guys, and it just like it goes like that. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, when you say the old guy, I saw somebody who looked a lot like Bruce Willis. So there you go.
Yeah, but like uncannily different.
Yeah,
because they took stuff from other celebrities too. It's a fascinating thing. It's a harbinger of the future of like generated images.
Has somebody set this video to like unsettling music yet? Because this has to happen.
Yeah, just the X-Files theme.
No, worse than that. I can't think of any right now, but you know, things that are purposely discordant or just plain out spacey or weird.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant. Mine was more of a joke idea.
Okay, yeah, the X-Files theme. Man, back when I was like 15, the X-Files theme would be a little bit creepy to me though.
Right? Really? Wow.
Oh, actually, there's a show called Unsub from this. No, I'm kidding. No, but there's this. Yeah, there's this show that was kind of like.
Is it a Twitch reality TV drama? Oh my god, I want that show now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, because X-Files got really popular, right? So and Twin Peaks too. So
yeah.
there are a few knockoffs of it, and one of them was called Unsub. And it had a really creepy like opening, and you know I watched it again recently, like less than a year ago. This show's from the 90s, and it didn't seem that creepy to me anymore. But back then, it just really like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just wanted to not think about it, but I just kept coming back. You know, so I would take that kind of stuff really seriously back then. But nowadays, I've been hardened.
Yeah. To me, I never really watched X-Files, so I only know the X-Files theme as like a silly meme. Like really? people put it over like the classic one is the dog that's like sucking its own dick. It's got the X-Files theme over it. Oh yeah, classic meme. It's a dog that's like managed to get itself into a position where it's just humping its own mouth. They just somebody set it to the X-Files theme, and it's really funny.
Yeah, I'm sure the X-Files theme is somewhat memeable. You know, not as much as Trololo or something, but I'm sure people have done some YouTube
not as much, but it's a reasonably popular meme.
Yeah. And then the show went down the shitter too, or so I hear.
Yeah, just like ours.
That's okay. We are climbing up from the shitter, I hope.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yep.
Come back on episode 100, guys. Maybe we'll be a real podcast.
It's like Pinocchio. If we bullshit long enough, our noses will get too long, but eventually we'll get spit out from a whale and become a real boy.
Yeah, that's how Pinocchio went. I remember that. From the classic tale.
Man.
You want to talk about real video games?
Yeah, let's talk about some real video games.
Spelunky 2 announced. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm so
2018,
excited.
right?
Did they say a release date? All I saw, like everything I saw was just we're working on it. We're making Spelunky 2.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind then. It's coming. That's all we know.
It's coming. It's announced. There's a trailer. There's a trailer that shows the Spelunky guy, like, you know, he got out of the caves, he got all the money, and then he starts a family and has a kid, and the kid like really wants to go to spelunking, and then they do it.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. There's no gameplay in the trailer. I'm kind of hoping that it's just going to be a different genre. Like this one will just be like a management sim or some shit.
No, I'll tell you something.
It seems. What's up?
I'm going to make a prediction, a hot prediction for Spelunky 2 right now. Okay. In Spelunky 2, you go to the moon.
Oh man, if you're right, holy shit.
Yep, calling it now.
That would be incredible. Yeah, it's like that one Overwatch map.
Which Overwatch map?
There's an Overwatch map on the moon.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I don't know anything about Overwatch. But it makes sense because there's a big moon in the logo.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's a moon in the 2.
Oh shit. Dude. Yeah, what if the people who came, what if it's about the ancient aliens that came and like built the pyramids?
What if he has the ancient aliens guy in it with the hair?
Oh, he's the final boss. He's the new Yama.
It's the new Yama.
Oh man, we've blown this wide open. I'm so much more excited for Spelunky 2 now.
Yeah, but
no, but seriously, if you're not familiar with Spelunky 1, I highly recommend you get familiar. In my opinion, it's the best video game ever made, hands down. It's an extremely good platformer roguelike. The original version of it was made kind of before roguelikes were a genre, like well before Binding of Isaac. Well before roguelites were a genre, I should say. Like roguelikes, the hardcore ASCII ones definitely existed, but this is the first one to kind of take it and explore a different genre with it, or one of the first ones. And it's just so fucking good. It's so simple but so brilliant, and you'll find yourself just wanting to play it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we did back in the day, back in 2013 when Spelunky HD came out.
Oh yeah, I used to reasonably consistently beat that game, like maybe 40% of the time, which in a game like Spelunky is very hard to do, because Spelunky is interesting in that like you can stack up a bunch of health and items and shit and become really powerful. One slip, you landed on spikes, you are dead. Like that game is extremely unforgiving with errors. You can get to the final stage and have like 90 health and instantly die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one, but it's a really good one. It's got great secrets and everything. So I'm really looking forward to Spelunky 2, but on a certain level, I'm also like really trying to temper my expectations, because Spelunky is such a perfect game that's like so built up in my head as like being so fucking good that I kind of feel like a sequel is like a really hard thing to do. I could see it so easily falling on its face because it like tries to capture what made Spelunky good but misses slightly. You know?
I mean,
like I feel like Isaac Rebirth kind of did that pretty hard for me anyway. My sensibilities.
The nice thing about this, there are two indicators that might portend that it's not going to be like Isaac Rebirth. The first thing is that it's exactly the same developers, so they're not outsourcing out to another company. And the other thing is that Derek Yu has taken a long time to think about Spelunky. This is not a rush job by any means. So hopefully in that amount of time he has thought about ideas that actually will enhance the Spelunky experience rather than just piling it there for a sequel.
Totally.
So.
I really want to believe, because Derek Yu is a goddamn actual genius in real life. I highly recommend his book if you're interested in Spelunky. He wrote a book about Spelunky that you can get a digital copy of for not that much money, and I read that book and really enjoyed it, and it was just so fascinating to see inside Derek Yu's mind, because like a lot of the time I feel like a developer will make a really good game kind of by accident in some regards. Like obviously developers are very talented at what they do, but every once in a while there's a mechanic that they make and it's just kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect people to like that so much. Derek Yu And of course, he had the benefit of hindsight when he was writing his book, but the way he talked about developing Spelunky showed that he really is very deliberate about making choices about his game and doing things in a way that are going to make people really enjoy and engage in interesting ways with his game. So, yeah, I want to believe. Spelunky 1 was great. Spelunky 2, super excited for it. Can't wait.
Yeah. I'm probably not as excited as you because I didn't play as much as you, but the way I got excited anyway, maybe not so much to play it, which is kind of funny, but because it's such a seminal game in the development of not just, roguelites, but also indie game history, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
That a sequel coming out is actually a big deal.
Yeah, Spelunky is one of those games that is... It was Dark Souls before Dark Souls in a way, in that it was just a primary influence for a whole lot of indie games. Like, a lot of indie games that are very different from Spelunky still take design notes from Spelunky because it's just one of those games that's so smartly designed and has so many good decisions that it's really easy to just take little things from it and add them to games of any genre.
Right. Can we get a Spelunky book from the perspective of Spelunker? Ask B-Rex to write it.
There you go. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be really good. I'd actually love to read that.
Yeah. I think there's so many things, like you said. One thing that I've been thinking about lately that Spelunky has had a shockwave effect through indie games is just the daily run thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing Dead Cells.
Huge.
Yeah, yesterday I was just playing Dead Cells and I did the daily run for the first time. And then I was thinking, this was Spelunky. This was Spelunky to start off with.
Yeah. That was Cook Serve Delicious. That was Isaac Rebirth. That was shit. In fucking Wrath of the Lamb, people were making their own daily runs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember that? There was just a daily seed on Reddit that you could go pick up.
Right.
But when you had to use Cheat Engine or Spider Mod to run a seed.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember
those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Spelunky's design decisions are everywhere.
Yep. So I don't know if Spelunky 2 will have that much of a shockwave effect, honestly, on the industry.
Yeah.
But
I wonder.
But we'll see.
It's the kind of thing I could see it either falling flat on its face or being revolutionary. It's kind of, I feel like if it's anywhere in between, people are going to be disappointed anyway.
Right.
Because it's such a high fucking bar. But
right.
Derek Yu, if anybody can do it, Derek Yu.
Yeah.
Fucking excited.
And
I'm sure at minimum it's going to be a good fun game. Like there's no way it's going to just be a complete flop.
Yep. And then there's his other game with the other developers, UFO something or another, coming out.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
Even if Spelunky falls apart, or Spelunky 2 falls apart, there's still that.
Yeah, I'm almost in a way a little bit more excited to see him do something that's not Spelunky. I want to see him tackle another space. Because like I said, I feel like Spelunky fucking nailed it. Spelunky is a perfect video game.
Mm-hmm.
In so many ways. Like, obviously it's not really, but for me, for my sensibilities, Spelunky is just exactly what I want in a video game. It's going to be hard to top.
I don't know what the perfect game for me is. Doki Doki Literature Club. No, I'm kidding.
You know what it is? It's Honey Pop.
I still haven't played that, actually.
Oh, man. I played a little bit of it one time. I live tweeted it. It's horrible.
I've been avoiding it for years for no good reason, really, because I play games which are more awful than that. But yeah.
Dude, that's your next YouTube series, man. That's where the money's at. That Honey Pop Let's Play.
Oh, jeez. No, I'm taking a break from YouTube for a month while I try to write a novel. So we'll see what happens after that.
Good luck with that. I thought I might try to do that. My life is so fucking crazy right now. There's no way. I can't even get started. I've got shit going on for the next week.
Yeah. Though I always say you watch someone break down over Doki Doki Literature Club on stream. His friends kept him playing to the end. What?
Wait.
What do you mean by breakdown?
Like his car broke down?
yeah, he was playing the game while in the car. That's the new IRL stream now. I mean, people driving around is old hat. Now you got to break the law by driving and playing a game at the same time.
Oh shit! There you go. God, you got to
Yeah.
get your augmented reality Google glasses and play a game while you're driving on your glasses.
Did I already mention that there was a Garbage Man stream?
No. Oh my god.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great.
I mean,
Wow.
he doesn't take out the garbage. He's more like the recycle bin truck, right? Or the the green waste, actually, more to the point. But yeah, he streams every day on his garbage route. That's his thing.
Wow.
And there are about 100 people watching.
Wow.
Man, I know,
the
right?
It's so fucking wild.
Yeah, really. Oh man! Every time,
right.
not every time, but every once in a while, when I go into IRL, I see something just completely like unusual and out there, and it's not just ghosts bouncing around, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the one time I was like randomly like, I wonder what's on IRL. One of the top streams was a girl who was selling like real estate on her skin, and she was just making drawings on her skin, and you could like pay her money to draw whatever you wanted her to.
Really?
On her body. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yep, that's about what I expected. And then I stopped perusing IRL.
I was going to say I don't know if that's awful or genius. I think it might be a little of both.
It's both. It was both. She had drawn a mustache on herself and shit. It was funny. So, she had like on her inner thigh there was Captain Crunch.
In the 1970s, Yoko Ono, the wife of the deceased John Lennon, she put herself as an installation in a museum in which people could, she was sitting there and people could walk up to her and do things like cut pieces of cloth off her shirt and stuff. And,
oh man, I didn't know that. I knew that she was an exhibit. I didn't know that people were allowed to interact with her.
I think she did. And now, here we are. Like 30 years later, 40 years later.
Oh, she would have been so good on Twitch.
She would have been.
Oh my god. Can you imagine the following that Yoko Ono would have today?
It would be, yeah. Yeah, why aren't more conceptual artists on Twitch, actually? People who do video installations.
Yeah, oh god, they really should be. Totally. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, you heard it here first.
Get on that.
The next I don't even know who's a famous video installation artist. I'm just not in the scene at all. Yeah, if you want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Twitch.tv. Give us a commission.
Yeah, really.
Another game that was announced at the same time. I think there was like a Sony keynote yesterday or something. I didn't know anything about
it. It's Paris Games something. I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, Sony was announcing indie games, and the two that made my Twitter blow up were Spelunky 2 and Guacamelee 2.
Mm-hmm.
Guacamelee is fucking awesome.
I was thinking about Guacamelee.
Very good.
We've never done it for a game of the week, so...
Oh shit, we should totally do that.
Right, so we should consider that for some other time.
Yeah, so Guacamelee was a really good luchador-themed Metroidvania. You heard that right. It's got some, like... mild fighting game elements and that you can do like combos and stuff. Like it's all melee combat as the title implies, and it's great. It's very colorful and fun, and it's got a really interesting world. You just go around and get new abilities and then go and beat shit up with them. Very satisfying game to play, super fun, very good boss fights. One of my favorite Metroidvanias of all time. So Guacamelee 2 very much excites me. There was a trailer for that. It looked awesome.
Dance hates his name?
Oh, dude. You would love the Mexican restaurant that we found in Long Beach for TwitchCon.
What was it?
When we were at TwitchCon, we found a place called Hole Mole. spelled like whole mole, but with accents on the E's. Yeah. And Doxy was just like, I want tacos. Let's go get tacos. And I was like, all right. Phone, find me some tacos. And I was scrolling through them and I was like, oh shit, guys, there's a place called Hole Mole. And Doxy's like, we're going there. And I was like, okay, hang on, let me read the reviews. But it was actually the best reviewed taco place within reasonable driving distance of the convention center. I was like, okay, yeah, fuck, let's go. And it was actually great. You're pro Hole Mole, but against Guacamelee? That's like the same exact joke. Fuck you.
There is a restaurant in Austin, Texas called One in a Million.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good shit.
So if I ever go to Austin, I'll be sure to check that out.
Yeah, and if you go to Long Beach, or apparently it's a chain all up and down the California coast, well, the Southern California coast. I've never heard of it before, but there's like 4 or 5 of them. Hole Mole, fucking really good. It was extremely cheap, and just really good tacos. I got myself a shrimp burrito with added fries in it for $7.50, which is
Really?
pretty normal for a burrito around here. The thing was huge. The thing was 2.5 meals for me.
Oh my god, that is cheap for a shrimp burrito.
For a shrimp burrito, yeah, fucking I ate less than half of it, put it in the fridge, ate some more for like a right before bed snack, put it back in the fridge, and ate the rest for breakfast.
Wow.
The thing was absurd. God, it was so good too.
Okay,
Katie wasn't very hungry. She got herself 2 potato tacos, and they were like 60 cents each, and they were great. They were actually really good. They were like kind of spicy, and they had like crunchy like almost hash browns in them, and then cheese and lettuce and salsa. Super good.
Can't go wrong with
sour
that.
cream in there too. Yeah, I had never had a potato taco before, but man, shit was good. Hole Mole, the bomb. Also, if TwitchCon is in Long Beach next year, which I really hope it is, because goddamn, that convention center was awesome. Yeah, that's the place to eat. Hole Mole, close to convention center, cheap, good. Nobody fucking knows about it.
Well, I'll
Until
definitely.
now.
Yep. Yep.
Now
We're
our
blowing
extremely
open the
popular podcast is gonna blow open this secret place to get food.
secret. Yep. But I will go if I end up going to Long Beach next year for TwitchCon. I'll definitely check that place out.
Yeah, you'll have to come with us.
Yeah. Yep. You want to talk about TwitchCon since we're on the topic?
Let's fucking do it. I went to TwitchCon. That's one of the reasons that we missed a few episodes. Or I think we just missed 2 weeks, right? I think we missed 2 weeks.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think no, we missed 3. Okay, so I was at TwitchCon, and the reason I missed a Wednesday thing for TwitchCon was because my girlfriend was out, and she flew in on Wednesday and flew out on Wednesday, so I was busy dealing with that. But yeah, so we all went to TwitchCon, and it was amazing. I went to a Bob Ross workshop.
I saw
Which
that on
is-
Twitter.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. We were just walking around the expo hall, and we were over toward like where they were selling shirts and shit, and there was a bunch of artwork, and which was really cool. There was a gallery with a bunch of video game themed art. I saw a picture of the dancer from Dark Souls 3 that was unbelievably good, really good painting. But there were a lot of really cool paintings over there, and there was also a little Bob Ross booth selling Bob Ross t-shirts, including one that Doxy bought that said "Painter's gonna paint." And there was also, you know, the 3 Wolves t-shirt?
Yeah.
The stupid fucking 3 Wolves, like, howling at the moon t-shirt. If you guys Google 3 Wolves t-shirt, you'll see the one I mean. Real stupid edgelord t-shirt. They had a Bob Ross version of that with 3 different Bob Ross faces looking up at the moon.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible. And the woman there was like, hey, tomorrow we're doing a Bob Ross thing, and a Bob Ross painting workshop. And I was like, what? Really? How much? And she was like, it's free. Just first 300 people who make it. It starts at noon. And everybody else in my party was like, fucking, we're not getting up in time to get here at noon. Come on. I was like, what? Okay, I'll go by myself then. And so I did. And it was great. It was really cool. They had a guy there who was role-playing Bob Ross and just like beating the devil out of his brush and shit. It was great. And just teaching us how to make a painting. And there were just like rows and rows of tables with people all packed in there with like a canvas and all of your paint already like squirted out on your on like construction paper that covered all the tables. And you had your little easel to mix paint on and shit, and there were all the tools that Bob Ross uses, a little scraper knife and shit. It was amazing.
Wow.
So I did a painting. You can, if you want to, you can go on my Twitter and see it. I took a picture of it and tweeted it.
That Twitch culture is so weird, but it's so good
It
sometimes.
is.
Like the whole Bob Ross cosplayer thing.
What?
Wow.
Oh no, he wasn't cosplaying. He was just role playing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say.
No, yeah, he didn't have a wig. But apparently this guy actually streams every Monday on the Bob Ross channel and does a live Bob Ross painting.
Okay, that's cool.
And he's very good at it. Like he's just as good as Bob Ross at like really clearly explaining what to do but also being silly and fun with it and being like, don't worry if you fuck it up, it's fine, but in nicer words. Um, but yeah, he was awesome, and my painting turned out actually really really well. And he was very good at being like, okay, you're just gonna scrape the shit out of the canvas, just like really take your knife. You're not gonna want to do it, but just like drag it on the canvas like you're trying to saw into it, but then like, oh, just a little whisper touch with your brush. You don't want to do anything crazy. Like, he was very good at just like explaining how painting techniques work. It was great, and everybody there was so nice too. Like, I walked in, I was pretty late because it takes a long time to get into TwitchCon, apparently, if you get there right on time. We were in line for like 45 minutes. So I ended up getting there at like half an hour after it started, but there were still seats, luckily, because the line to get in was so long. And the people next to me who I squeezed in, I was like, sorry, and the guy next to me immediately was like, okay, first you got to do this, and because I was way behind the start of the painting, and he just showed me all the stuff to do to get caught up, and just everybody around was nice and complimenting each other's paintings and stuff. It was great.
Wow. I kind of feel like the only way that could have been better is if everyone decided to get together and form a group after that to keep doing stuff together.
Oh, totally. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the group is go to the Bob Ross Twitch channel every Monday.
Yeah,
Every Monday
true.
evening, apparently this happens. And yeah, I really actually want to get more into painting now because that was so fun. But right now I can't afford art supplies. But
Right.
soon I would love to buy some paint and canvas and do stuff because I do really enjoy painting. That's the second time I've touched oil paints, and you can see in chat how nicely my painting turned out.
Yeah, it looks great. I actually, I mean, it's November. There might be some deals on art supplies at some point this month.
That's true. Yeah, Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Right now, I'm at about negative $700, so we'll see if I can actually manage to buy anything. But I'm working my way back up. But I spent a lot of money at TwitchCon, as one might imagine.
Yeah,
so I kind
yeah.
of blew through all of my money and a lot of my credit limit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to conventions is expensive, generally.
It is. Yeah, I had a great time though. It was really really fun.
Yeah.
I also played Code Vein, the upcoming Dark Souls-like, not by the same developers, but very, very, very inspired by Dark Souls and from the same publisher.
Okay.
The day I was there, it was a Saturday that I got to play it, and he was just about to close it up, and what they were doing was giving people 15-minute sessions to try to beat a boss, a very hard boss. And if you could beat it within your 15 minutes, then you could get a t-shirt. And I got through like 6 of my 15 minutes and then had to go and meet Last Grey Wolf, Austin, who then ended up fucking walking away in a car and not even meeting with me. So I missed my chance to win a t-shirt. I was like, we're coming back tomorrow. We're getting here early. We're going to get that t-shirt. And so me and Katie went there when the convention center opened at noon again. And Doxy and Rocket Lobster slept in until like 3:30.
Oh wow!
but then so I got there at noon and fucking they didn't have it set up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna set it up for half an hour at 1:30. So come back then." I'm like, "What, half an hour?" And we're out of shirts, and I was like, "Oh god damn it! I missed my chance to win a shirt." And then we came back at 1:30, and they didn't even set up the game. They just left.
Wow.
So that was my experience with Code Vein. However, it feels pretty good to play. It's interesting. It's Dark Souls. But you attack with the face buttons, which is crazy. In Dark Souls, you attack with R1 and R2. So that was like the hardest part of the game for me, was just getting used to attacking. I was like consistently fucking up and just running up to an enemy and pressing the sprint button instead of attacking it. But B, you have a constant companion with you who can like revive you when you die and heal you and stuff, as long as they have the mana for it. But they can also be attacked too, so there's kind of this aspect of like babysitting an NPC at all times, which seemed interesting. I didn't really get to interface with it enough to know if I like it or not. But that's Code Vein. It's basically anime Dark Souls is an easy way to think of it.
Yeah, and there is a market for that.
Oh yeah. It was very beautiful. It was very nice. It wasn't super well optimized yet. Like, I was getting some serious framiness. But they said they're working on that, and by the time it releases, it should not be like that. It was a pretty early build, and they didn't know apparently until the day before TwitchCon that they were going to expo it.
Oh,
like because Namco Bandai was going to be there showing their Dragon Ball Z fighting game, and then they just decided, you know what, fuck it, let's throw Code Vein on there. And that was like, if anybody had known, that would have been the star of the show, but they had no signage for it. It was just kind of tucked away in the corner of the indie games section. So, like, nobody knew it was there. It was kind of the best kept secret of the convention that I found, anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was cool.
And Code Vein, did they say when it's coming out?
It does not have a release date yet, but they're
see.
hoping for, I think they said second quarter 2018 is what they're aiming for.
Okay, that's not too far away.
Yeah, less than a year, hopefully.
All right. Let's see. Did you end up meeting Austin in the way? At the end, by the way.
I did. Yeah, on I think it was on Sunday. Yeah, it was on Sunday, the last day of the convention. We met up at the Madrida's booth, Madrida's Coffee. Met up with Austin and Northern Lion and Kate and Hey D-Mart. And another guy who I didn't recognize who hangs out and plays PUBG with Austin all the time, and I forget. I think his name was Kevin. I don't remember his handle, but they were all hanging out there. So we all came and said hi, and so it was all of them plus me and Spyro the Sheep, my girlfriend who mods the NLSS, and Zero Doxy and Rocket Lobster, who's her boyfriend.
It sounds like a fun time.
We had a little like 30-minute powwow hangout. And I told Ryan to get over to Dead Cells because so we were at the Dead Cells booth, and I had been fucking with Katie a lot because Katie kept on introducing herself as like, I'm nobody, don't worry about me. And I'm like,
Aww.
and I'd be like, no, this is famous Northern Lion mod Spyro the Sheep. She's very happy to meet you. So I did that with the Dead Cells dev, and he was like, oh my god, really? Can you please tell Northern Lion to please talk to us because we want to talk to him about our update coming up? And we were like, yeah, we'll try. We'll see what we can do. And so when I talked to Northern Lion, I told him the story, and he thought that was really funny. And hopefully he made his way over there, or else tweeted at them or something.
Yeah. Didn't Northern Lion have a Dead Cells series at some point? I think he did, right?
I bet he did. Yeah, I remember him telling me, I don't know why I'm saying I remember like I'm talking about a different time. He told me when I met him that that he thought it was cool, but also he had some complaints about it, and I think the developer thinks that he's solved those complaints with the upcoming update that we will definitely be covering here. He gave me a couple of codes for the game and asked me to please cover the big update that's coming mid-November, so keep an eye out for that. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Spyro the Sheep, exactly. Like, she's probably more famous than me because of all the people who fucking know her as a Northern Lion mod. But yeah, so the Dead Cells booth was really fucking cool. I got to play the game for the first time and immediately fell in love with it. And the developer's super nice guy, just really, really cool and fun, and like had a fun time talking about the game and his inspirations and stuff. I very much enjoyed talking to him.
I've been playing the game. I have like 5 to 6 hours in it now. Mm-hmm. And it's a great game. I'm looking forward to the content update, and we'll be able to talk about it more then.
Yeah, totally. God, yeah, I'm trying to keep myself like largely. If I play an early access game and then there's a big update, for some reason that always tends to make me like fall off of it. So I've been trying to avoid playing it, but I wanted to make myself like, you know, at least familiar with the concept before the big update came, so I could talk about what changed to some degree. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll just play a couple deaths. And I died twice, and I somehow spent almost 2 hours playing in 2 deaths. I'm apparently pretty good at the game. I beat the first boss and got significantly in, like, I got almost to the second boss from what I've heard.
Oh wow!
On my second life, and then I stopped playing because I was like, shit, I'm just gonna tear through this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to as soon as the update comes out, I want to actually do a few streams of that game because it's real good. I love it.
It is. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So I did that. Oh, we went to the shittiest bar in the world.
Oh yes, tell us about that.
That's a good story. So when I first got to Long Beach, I had only slept 3 hours, like, and I had woken up like 20 hours earlier. So I was dead. I was like, I was almost starting to nod off while driving, and I was just like, we just got to get there, and I'm going to go to bed. But it was Doxy's Airbnb that we were staying at. So we got there, we unloaded the car, and then I called her. I was like, hey, Doxy, we're here. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. And she was like, no, you have to come out drinking. We've got to go drinking. And I could tell she was already drunk. And I was like, I can't. I'm not going to drive anywhere. It's too dangerous. I'm so ready to die. And she was like, no, I'm gonna send my boyfriend, he's gonna pick you guys up, you're gonna come drinking with us. And Katie's like, I'm not going anywhere. I was like, yeah, that's fair, you don't drink. But I felt peer pressured, I had to go. So I went. Joe came back. We got in the car, and we drove to the address we were given. And the address was in the middle of the street between a sushi place and a parking garage. We were looking for an Irish pub, and we were like, "This is not it." So we found a place to park, which in Long Beach is not easy, and then we just started wandering around and trying to figure it out. And eventually, we figured out you had to type in the name of the pub, which was Ye Old Dubliner or something, like just some fucking fake Irish trash. And we get there, and it's just like packed with TwitchCon people, absolutely fucking stuffed with people, and they're blasting Sweet Home Alabama out of this Irish pub.
Why?
Yep. That's what I said. That was the first thing I said. I was like, oh yeah, this is Irish as fuck. And fucking Sinnoh Beats was there, and Sinnoh is Scottish, and he was like, oh yeah, this is some fucking trash. So we had a good laugh about that. And it took Doxy like 45 minutes to show up, and we had told her over the phone, like, Doxy, this bar fucking sucks. It's gonna take an hour to get a drink. It's bad. And she was like, no, it's gonna be fine. This is where everybody's meeting us. We gotta be there. And we did meet a lot of people while we were there hanging out. But she eventually shows up, and the first thing out of her mouth is, this bar sucks. And we're like, yeah, we fucking told you that. So she goes into just to pee, and then we're gonna find another place. But then she comes back out, and she's like, it's not so bad once you're in there. And it's still to this day, like, she tells me that there was not a line when she was in there. I think that she was too drunk to notice the line, because I can't understand how a seething mass of 50 people accumulated around the bar just while she was coming back out from peeing. But yeah, so we're in there at that point. And she pushes her way to the front of the line because she's a pretty girl, and then still has to wait like 45 minutes to get all of the drinks she orders. Like, she orders shots and beers. They give her the shots right away and then just walk away. And then she has to flag them down like 3 additional times to get the beers she ordered. And then for 4 shots of Jameson and 3 beers, they charge her $100.
What?
Yeah. And we were just like, what? Hello? Okay. Sure. So that was our bar experience. It was awful. She tweeted, I just paid $100 to have every man in LA breathe in my mouth. And it was not far from the truth. There was just a fucking sweaty mass of people. There was no line at all. There was just a crowd trying to flag down one bartender. And there were like 3 different counters that he was responsible for. He was just running in circles trying to handle it all.
Wow.
Poor Joe, not allowed to drink. Joe didn't want to drink. Joe didn't want to be in there. It was bad. He stayed outside.
Frankly, I would have just gone. I hate crowds.
Oh yeah, no, I was not into it, but I was stuck there at that point. Like, we were taking Doxy home in the car, so I was in there. I didn't bring my own car. Man, that was an experience. That was really funny though. And this whole time I'm just like dead on my feet, just like swaying. It's like, I just want to go. And Doxy's like, here, drink this shot. And I'm like, okay, yes, drink the shot, put it on the counter, go back to swaying.
But it's fine.
I wanted to be chilling with Joe.
I think you've been to other cons. You went to Comic-Con, right, in the past?
That's the only other con I've been to. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know how it is. Like, going to cons, finding stories like that's one of the best parts of it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, TwitchCon was fucking good though. Like I don't consider myself much of a convention guy. Like the crowds and the like being on my feet all the time and everything. It's just kind of not really my bag. TwitchCon was amazing. It was really really good. In just every way you can imagine. Like there was, even though it was in a big old convention center full of people, there were still all these little corners you can go to and just kind of be away from things. Like the art gallery I told you about, like there weren't a ton of people there. And you could just go and look at beautiful paintings of video game stuff for a while if you wanted to relax. There were also tons and tons of places with very comfortable like places to sit, like little couches and giant bean bags and stuff. So you could just lay down for a little while if you wanted to. And it wasn't like super overly loud. Like there were parts of it, there were corners where there was loud bassy music obviously, but there were corners where there wasn't too. Like you could totally get away from that stuff and still be in the expo hall, which was really impressive to me.
See, I was going to ask,
and there was just a lot of cool shit to do. Sorry.
It sounds like I went to the very first TwitchCon in San Francisco a couple of years ago, and it sounds to me, even though that experience was good and I met a bunch of people, I also met D-Mud at that con for the first time.
Really cool guy, I love him.
He is. D-Mud, by the way, is David Martinez. I probably should explain this. He is one of the people responsible for games like Kingdom and other.
Yeah, he does Raw Fury PR. He's also Northern Lions manager and he streams himself.
Yeah, yep. So
cool, dude.
It seemed to me like TwitchCon at the time was kind of trying to find its identity. It was still kind of a good time, but it was kind of a mix between an industry con and a fan con, which I found to be kind of odd. And is it like that now, or has it changed a bit since then?
I would say it's still a mix between a fan con and an industry con, but I didn't find it to be in a bad way. Like fans can totally go and try out games and stuff, but then if you're a streamer and you tell the dev that, then they'll be like, oh shit, cool, here's some codes that I brought, talk to me about like, maybe we'll do like something, like there was a lot of that going on, but there was a lot of just, devs showing off games to fans too, like you would see at a PAX. So it didn't come across as awkward to me, and there was a lot to do if you were just a fan. Like if you weren't a streamer at all, you would still have a fucking blast at TwitchCon. Because there was just so much to do. There were so many games expoed. There was like the Bob Ross thing. There were meet and greets with streamers if you wanted to go and meet your favorite streamer. There was a ton of that going on. And gosh, I'm trying to think of what else. And there was like a merch corner where there was just a whole ton of really cool artwork and t-shirts and things of that nature being sold. That was really neat. Like it was very community focused stuff. It wasn't like, oh, here's some mass produced Twitch merchandise. There was that, but holy fuck, you had to wait in line for like 3 hours to get into the Twitch store. That was ridiculous. Yeah. Like Doxy and Katie both really wanted stuff from there, and we kept on going and being like, okay, that's so long that like you're gonna miss the entire day of the con just waiting in line to buy Twitch shit. So, and by the time there wasn't a line, they finally got in there and all the shit they wanted was sold out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so that was stupid. But right downstairs in the expo hall, there were just like row after row of really cool community art that people were selling like prints and stuff of, and it was all really beautiful and neat. And the lines for that weren't crazy at all. You just basically walk up to most stalls and just buy stuff.
Oh, that totally makes sense with Twitch Creative being a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was an entire like quadrant of the expo hall that was Twitch Creative themed.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen that.
It was awesome. Yeah, I actually spent a lot of my time there. Wow. It was basically like that and the indie corner were my primary targets. And then I spent a little bit of time in like the AAA corner. Oh yeah, fucking Devolver had an awesome fucking stage too. It was so good. They were doing a lot of live shows, and they would pull up audience participations and play silly games with them and then give them swag. It was very Devolver. It was hilarious. Like the one that I saw was... they had a game where two people would sit on either side of a folding chair, and on top of the folding chair there was a hammer and a helmet, and they would play rock, paper, scissors, and the winner would have to grab the hammer and hit the other person, and the loser would have to grab the helmet and block the hit.
That sounds familiar, actually. I feel like that game exists in another context. But yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so they were playing that, and they had a hilarious announcer guy, and then like whenever somebody won, they had a guy, they had like a mobster guy who'd come out with a fake cigarette in his mouth and a big wad of fake cash and just hand it to the winner. And they had like cocaine. They had like big packages of fake cocaine they would give to people. It was Devolver as hell. It was like really cheesy and funny and hilarious. And they threw a copy of Shadow Warrior 2 for the PS4 out, and Katie happened to catch it, and she was very excited about that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I thought they tossed it at her, but she won it as a prize or something. But she happened to catch it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, they just kind of they did the thing that one does, where they just kind of threw it frisbee style into the crowd, and it landed pretty close to her.
Nice.
And she snatched it out of the air.
Very
she
nice.
actually dropped it on the ground and fumbled and had to pick it up. But yeah. Yeah, so that was really fun. The Devolver stage was awesome. And we saw Austin, Last Grey Wolf, play Enter the Gungeon live, and that was really cool too.
Oh, okay.
He was on the big screen. We were there with the biggest crowd I ever saw at the Devolver stage, actually, watching that.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Austin.
What was the IRL section like? Dude, okay, actually, I have a really good IRL story, and then I'm done. We were getting food. We only ate at the food trucks once because they were like ridiculously overpriced, but I had not eaten that day really at all, and I just needed to get food in my stomach. So we went to the food trucks, and we went to this barbecue one, and we got pulled pork on top of mac and cheese, which was actually amazing. But while we were waiting for it, which took a long ass time, there was this fucking woman in this like shiny blue like bikini, basically. I have no idea what she was supposed to be, and she was just walking around with her camera with her phone on a selfie stick streaming, and she was just like, oh, wow, what is this? And, like, somebody had just gotten their food, and she, like, came over right next to him and held her camera up and was like, wow, that looks really good. What is that? And then, like, pointed the camera at the guy in the cart, like, I think I'll have that. And we were just like, are you fucking kidding me? She was awful. She was so fucking annoying.
Oh, my God.
But that was the only IRL streamer I saw at TwitchCon.
There were a few famous ones that showed up at TwitchCon. Andy Milonakis is probably the most famous, and the Korean streamers also, they flew into TwitchCon.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because they are full-time IRL streamers. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think there were probably a lot of IRL streamers, but that was the only one I noticed because she was real blatant about
really
it.
Annoying.
She was so obnoxious. She was just going over to people like, "Hey, you're on my stream now. What's going on?
Oh no,
what are you doing?" Like not exactly that, but like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, TwitchCon was fucking good. You should go next year. Everybody should go next year. I'm going next year. Zero Doxy, Spire the Sheep are also going next year.
Yep, and now that I know that maybe I have some time in October, I'll probably try to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I really hope so. You would have had a blast. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I saw a really cool cosplay contest too. I won't talk about it too long, but there was just some of the best cosplay I've ever seen in my life at that cosplay contest. It was insane.
Yeah.
There's like a fully functional Samus suit and shit.
Really?
There was a girl who had angel wings that were all individually articulated.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was some absolutely absurd shit.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, definitely excited to check that out. I might, and this is a big might, try to go to an anime convention for the first time in like a decade, just so that I can report it on the podcast. Hello, Pancat.
What's up, Pancat?
Because it's been years since I was at an anime con, as I just said, and I think my perspective on anime conventions might have changed a little bit.
I wonder. Oh, man. Well, we've been going for a fucking hour, and we haven't touched on the game of the week yet.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
Probably stop. I could literally talk about TwitchCon all night, but we will stop. We played Fortnite Battle Royale, which is the free-to-play spin-off of free-to-play game Fortnite, which is like a zombie defense kind of thing. And they instead basically made PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but free. And we played a little bit of that on Monday. What did you think of it, Zen?
So I have been kind of thinking to myself, I want to play Battlegrounds, because my brother-in-law bought it, and I've been watching Austin play it. And so whenever I go back to my dad's house, because my sister and I visit his house every once in a while, and my brother-in-law set up a PC there actually, I would watch him play Battlegrounds and be the annoying backseat guy who has never played the game. And say, maybe you should do this, and of course, we're just doing it in fun, right? But then I thought to myself, maybe I could be somewhat good in this game, even though I've never played a multiplayer shooter in like forever. Mm-hmm. So you and I started playing it the other day just to check it out. You had played it a little bit. I had not played it at all. And well, we got into it. We did well at the beginning, and then after that, it was tough.
It's a hard game. Yeah. It's Battlegrounds game Battlegrounds games in general, I guess is the genre you would call them, are difficult because it is like every single time you get into an engagement, it's everybody's going to be trying to go for that advantage, and especially in duos, like they're going to be all about trying to flank you and stuff. So we pretty consistently lost somebody right at the beginning of a round, which was a little bit difficult. But yeah, so for me, I have experience playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Not a ton, but a little bit. And this game really struck me with its simplicity. Like, this game, I think, attempts to take Battlegrounds and just strip it down to its basic components. So it's something you can really just pick up and play and not have to have a bunch of granular knowledge about. Like, PUBG is all about... It has a ton of realistic weapons, and if you don't know fucking gun names, like, you're gonna be like, gun. Yes, I understand this. What kind of ammo does it take? And you have to, like, read the description of the gun to even know what ammo to get for it. Fortnite Battle Royale is, like, pump shotgun, tactical shotgun, sniper rifle, assault rifle. Like, it's very it does a better job of communicating what things are, and then you can get upgraded ones. Like in PUBG, you end up getting a weapon and then getting attachments for it and kind of kitting it out. In Fortnite Battle Royale, you just find a better weapon. You just find, like, you can find green, blue, and purple versions of weapons, and those are in ascending levels of good. Like, you can find the basic one, you can find a green one that's better than that, a blue one that's better than that, and a purple one that's better than that. And that's just how it works. So it's it totally makes sense for me as, like, an introduction to the genre for somebody who's never played PUBG, because it is very simple. However, it's also really weird because, like, it doesn't have cars and it doesn't have attachments. It doesn't have backpacks. It doesn't have armor. So there's way less, like, I guess, progression that you go through. There's way less, like, finding an exciting thing. Like, a level 3 helmet. Like, that doesn't really... There's very little of that. There's pretty much you find your starting gun, and then maybe if you get really lucky, you find a better version of it later on, mostly from killing somebody.
I think that's, and I didn't encounter this myself, but I think they're shield potions, but it's certainly nothing.
Yes.
Nothing like, like getting better armor as in Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I found one of those. I think the shield potion seemed kind of analogous to, like, a boost in PUBG. If I had to compare it to something, it was a little consumable thing. Yeah. I did use one time. It didn't help me that much. I still died. So yeah, I don't really know how they work. PUBG tried to take legal action. Dunspace asks in the chat, isn't PUBG taking legal action or something? They definitely sternly worded their denouncement of the game, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere with actually filing copyright infringement, because it really, like, they're not really taking anything, but we'll see. It's possible, because it's a very similar game.
Yeah,
like I'm kind of shocked how similar the start is, where, like, in the start you spawn in a little test map full of guns, and then you all spawn into a giant plane that you then parachute out of. That's all identical to PUBG, which is like, that's a lot to be the same exact game loop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I imagine if it did come down to a court case, that would be the first thing that gets shown in the evidence.
That and the fact that they literally marketed, I think the marketing more than anything maybe puts them in danger. Probably not of having the game shut down, but paying damages, because they did literally market it as, it's PUBG but free. Which is a little bit questionable. But yeah, it is PUBG but free. However, I do think there are good reasons to pay for PUBG rather than playing Fortnite for free, because it's a weirdly like shallow shell of PUBG. You know, like there's so much depth missing that I feel like it would be hard to get as into it as people do into PUBG.
Well, what I did after we played was that I just, out of curiosity, I went online to see what people have been doing. And you know, the whole building thing about PUBG, I mean not PUBG, Fortnite, is basically one of the things that's supposed to separate it from PUBG. Most people, I think, don't build the giant forts that you saw. I think you saw a giant fort or something, right?
I saw a few.
Yeah.
I think it might be more common in solo play than duos, because in duos I didn't really see anybody build anything.
Yeah, but I think the building stuff only comes in, like, for example, building a ramp so that you can get to a higher place, or building a bridge. So maybe there's a little bit of difference there, or a little bit of depth.
But there's a little something anyway. The building part of Fortnite Battle Royale is strange and feels extremely tacked on to me. And it's kind of, it makes the game very strange, because like, for example, so I played one solo game of this and I got to 3rd place, and one thing I observed during that game was one dude just got into a house and then broke the roof of the house and then just started building a fucking Trump tower on top of it. Dude was like fucking, 200 meters in the air and just hanging out up there and shooting down at people. And it was a strange decision to me, especially because kind of the whole point of a battle royale game is it keeps you moving. The circles keep on changing and narrowing. So if you invest a lot in making yourself a big old fucking ivory tower, and then the circle doesn't contain that tower, guess what? You just wasted a bunch of time to leave. So it's a really strange mechanic to put into the game, and I feel like it doesn't really mesh that well with the rest of the mechanics.
Yeah, Dance was saying, hello Captivating Chaos, I cannot talk today, oh my god. Dance was saying that it is the Battle Royale part that is tacked on, and yeah, I think we did talk about that during the stream itself. That is true.
I agree. Yeah, it's they've taken this engine and are trying to make a totally different game in it. But for the game mode Battle Royale in Fortnite, if we're gonna take that as a holistic game, the building is the part that's stacked on, because everything else kind of works together and works toward a cohesive whole. And then the building part is just like, oh, we've got this building system already in the engine. Fuck it, just toss it in there. And my question is kind of why? I don't feel like it really helps the game that much.
It's for future lawsuits. Our game really is different. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, totally. I just wish they would like maybe tweak it a little bit to make it make more sense in the Battle Royale engine. I'm not sure how they would do that, but I'm not the fucking game developer. Like, they should do something to make that more cohesive, I feel.
I kind of feel like they will. The game is extremely popular. It's got something like 800k concurrent players, and it's free, so that definitely helps it. But also, there's no PUBG for the PlayStation 4, and I believe this game is on PlayStation 4, so that definitely helps that.
Sure.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, overall, like, for a free game, I would 100% recommend this, especially if you're somebody who's kind of on the fence. I don't know if I want to drop money on PUBG, but I like the concept a lot. This is a really good way to dip your toe in without any investment. You can just literally make an account and play the game.
I totally agree with that. It's really helpful to me as somebody who's never played this genre of game and needed to make a decision about whether I want to play PUBG or not, to play a game like this and kind of understand.
Yeah, because it really is. It's just a stripped down PUBG, but the gameplay is extremely similar, and the game loop is pretty much the same, even though it's missing a lot of things. And it's kind of, you got to know that PUBG is going to have a lot more depth and a lot more interesting stuff going on. But Fortnite Battle Royale is the same game feel, so it's a really good way to kind of, if you don't have $30 or you just don't know if you want to drop it, download this game. Why not? It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. How about that guy you made very mad at the vet? Well, we don't know how mad he got, but I'm guessing he got mad. Like at the very last game.
Okay. So Zen died immediately in this game. Or not immediately, but pretty quick. So I was alone. I'm sitting in this house, and I've got nothing but like a rifle and this ceiling trap that I found. I was like, electrical ceiling trap. How does this work? We've dropped into like the most popular place. Like I think we intentionally dropped somewhere where it was going to be a fucking battle. It was like Salty Springs or something, I think. So it was just this area full of buildings, and we looked around as we were parachuting down, and it was just like fucking Flight of the Valkyries. Like there were just so many people fucking coming down into this place. So Zen dies immediately. I'm holed up in this little house where I found an assault rifle and this trap, and I'm like, okay, what if I just put this trap at the top of the stairs and then wait? And I wait for a long time, and nobody comes up my stairs, and finally I'm like, okay, fuck it, I gotta get out of here, and I'm like trying to take down the trap, and I can't. And I start walking down the stairs, and I'm not really paying attention, and a dude just walks up at me to where my ceiling trap is, and I'm like, oh god, and I start shooting at him, and then the ceiling trap just fucking instantly murders him. Dude just dies and drops a bunch of good shit. He had like a tier 3 assault rifle and shit, and I'm like, okay, let's go. So I pick up all this stuff. That poor man. But with that, I was able to solo in a duos game, like sneak up on a dude with a sniper rifle and kill him, and then take a sniper and then snipe 2 people before finally getting taken out by another sniper.
No,
that was wild.
I just got to emphasize this, alright? Green wasn't kidding about this being like basically a free-for-all when we got down there. Everyone was there. Right, this guy was the survivor of that. He was the one who duked it out to the very end and got all the stuff, and then just died because of the stupid electric trap on the ceiling.
Yeah, and his buddy was already dead. Like he would have gone down, and then I would have had to execute him if his buddy wasn't dead. So this guy had already lost his friend, but he was like, I'll carry on your legacy. Oh shit, there's a guy up these stairs. Let me just go up there and kill him. And me, like, doop, not paying attention, totally didn't notice this guy coming up the stairs, and then he just dies anyway. Oh, the poor man.
Yeah, that's why I thought he must have been so mad.
His
wife left because of this.
Poor guy. Yeah, that was a good Fortnite Battle Royale experience. So that just goes to show you can have PUBG-ish experiences in this game. Totally. That was one of them.
Yep. All right. Well, we've gone for a long time on this podcast. We have a lot to talk about, lots of catching up. But we'll be back for the next podcast. We're going to be trying to play a game called, what was it called?
High Hell.
High Hell.
It's the new Devolver game. It's that was kind of the theme that they were going with for their stage show, which is why they had all the stacks of money and the cocaine. Those are items from High Hell. High Hell is from the developers of Heavy Bullets, which you might remember we did pretty early on in this podcast as a game of the week and didn't think that highly of. But this one looks a lot more interesting, a lot more fleshed out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that one out.
Yep. I don't know anything about it, but it's Devolver. I'm always interested to check out something that Devolver is doing.
Totally. Yeah, I know that it's a first-person shooter, and it's very actiony. It's very, like, it's got that, like, you die and you immediately respawn. From what I saw in videos, anyway. I haven't actually tried it myself, but that was kind of what was conveyed to me at TwitchCon.
Right.
So, alrighty. Yeah, that's going to be our next game of the week. Check it out, and we'll see you Monday for a stream of that game. That's at 7:30 PST, and then the podcast, same time, same place, Wednesday at 7:30 PST.
All right. Be sure to, if you haven't done so already, be sure to go over to twitch.tv/green9090 because that's where all the action is. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, go to youtube.com/Zen and Cyrene too. He's gone for a month because he's doing NaNoWriMo, but he'll be back with more crazy anime titties soon. So make sure to slam that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week.
Oh my god. This is why I'm not visible on my Steam friends list anymore. I did all those visual novels and dating games. Anyway. Yeah, but just to make it clear, the podcast VOD will still go up every other week on my channel.
Yes,
it's just my usual stuff that's going to go away for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be like
guys.
my channel.
God.
Bye everybody.
See ya.